Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to New Comic Book Day, the comic talk hosted by the Vaughn and Only, twitch.tv/ThereCanBeOnlyVaughn for the live version of the show, so you can join in with the Twitch chat, talk about the books that we pick up each and every week. This week is going to be a little different for the 12th of May because I think indies are starting to dominate our list. I discussed this in some conversations with Dank Comics, with my Instagram group of comic book YouTube creators, and it seems that my DC list is dwindling and the indie books just keep piling up and up and up and up, and it's incredible. It's really cool to see the innovation, the variety, and creators going out of their way to create something new. We don't have to use the tired tropes of, hey, how do we freshen up Hulk? How do we freshen up Spider-Man? How do we freshen up Superman? No, just start something completely fresh, completely new. It's super exciting. I can't wait to share with you guys what we picked up this week. As always, these will actually, like I said, indies will be last. So this week we have DC's books, Marvel, and then our indies, as well as a couple. We have 2 variants and then 3 variants that just happen to show up in the store. They're a little older, but I think they're just like buys for the shop to put on their wall. So cool little exclusive variants. All right, first up, we're going back to Future State Gotham. I don't know who this is supposed to be in the future, but it looks like Red Hood, so we're going to see what happens. Why is there a Future State book a month removed from all the other books? Who knows? I'm curious. I picked it up. Moving along, we have Superman issue number 31, cardstock variant there. Clark and Jonathan Kent. Then we have one of probably the better books that DC is doing, Joker number 3. This is the who is it? Frank, right? Can't remember who did the variant here, but cardstock variant here with him on the playing card. Thought it was incredible. We also picked up cover A. I skipped on the Federici sketch cover this week to pick up a different variant. I wanted to collect them all. Maybe I'll pick it up later. We'll see. But that one's of Jim Gordon, because that's what the Joker book is based or centralized around. Jim Gordon trying to finally take down the Joker once and for all. Moving over to Wonder Woman 772 Legacy, Josh Middleton cover there. Diana finds herself in Valhalla, so it's been a really interesting read, putting her in that scheme of mythology. This one's probably my favorite cover from DC this week. They did a Festival of Heroes, the Asian superhero celebration. So I thought this is really cool. This is like an homage to the Batgirl that Stanley Art Germ Lau did his first introduction to DC covers, comic book covers. So this is supposed to be the new Batman Beyond, and it's just a celebration for Asian Pacific Heritage Month. So it's really cool, and a first appearance of the Monkey King in DC continuity. Moving over to Marvel, that was it for DC. Marvel, we have a second printing here of Avengers Curse of the Man-Thing. So this is Patrick Gleason. He did those Spider-Man webbing variants. So this is kind of the same thing, but instead he drew Man-Thing through vines. So this is the second printing. I think the first printing is a little darker green. Nevertheless, really cool cover. New number 1, another X-Men book. We got X-Corp. Apparently Warren Worthington Angel is the main protagonist in this book. Continuing the prelude for War of the Bounty Hunters, we have Star Wars issue 13. The first one with Boba Fett was really good, so I'm really excited to continue that storyline, that crossover event there. Then we have High Republic issue number 5. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you should be picking up these books. Heroes Reborn, issue number 2 already. Issue number 1 came out last week. Kind of curious to see how they play out with all these interesting different characters in this Marvel universe that Blade is trying to remember. He's like the only person that remembers how it used to be. So it's interesting. I didn't realize that it's going to be 7 weeks in a row, so that's kind of cool. Instead of waiting 7 months, that's quite a long time for people to invest in a story like that. Moving along, we have Silk issue number 3. And we're gonna talk about the variant for that in a little while. There we have Guardians of the Galaxy 14. This is an interesting book because Doctor Doom joins the Guardians. Friend or foe? Probably the events of the week for Marvel. We have Fantastic Four, issue 32, The Bride of Doom, part 1. Two couples getting married in this book. Gotta find out who it is. And then we got the Scotty Young variant, of course, because I enjoy Scotty Young artwork. If you don't like Scotty Young, I mean, it's not for you, but hey, it's not for everyone, but I've always enjoyed his work, so I try to pick up his covers here and there. And that's it for Marvel. Really, really short for Marvel this week. Moving over to our indies now. A bunch of cool little indies. Aftershock is debuting a new #1 with Silver City, about a girl who apparently gets killed and is trying to figure out how she was murdered. And she meets all these people. It's a story set in purgatory, so I want to see what that's about. This one was really interesting. We got two covers here. Time Before Time. So this one is really interesting. The premise here is that if it's almost like that one Justin Timberlake movie where everyone had like you would pay to get ahead in life, but then your internal clock gets lower and lower, right? So if you want to be rich, then you give up like 3 years, 5 years or something like that. So in this one, essentially it's almost the same, where you can pay somebody a fortune for you to be able to go back in time and fix a mistake that you made, but it's going to cost you. What it costs you, I'm not sure, but I think the premise alone sounds amazing. I can't wait to read that. I'm going to be reading it tonight after stream. Another book from Aftershock here. We got Maniac of New York, issue #4. We're coming up to the ending of this. What is this maniac going to do to the survivors of the subway train? Check out that book. Silver Coin, issue #2. I still haven't checked out #1. So I told you guys what I wanted to do was make sure that anytime a new #1 came out, it had to jump to the top of the list so that I could read it, review it, and then kind of determine whether I want to continue with the series or not, instead of going 3-4 issues deep and I'm like, oh man, I don't like the first issue, I don't like the second issue, but then I've already ordered issues 5, 6, and 7, so I gotta stop doing that. Well, so we'll make sure we correct that with Silver Coin as well. Of course, you guys know me, King Midas, Magic the Gathering, issue #2 from Boom Studios. More from Image here. We got Carmen, issue #3. I really like this story here. This girl who's like kind of also in like this purgatory state where she's dead but still is interacting with the world and trying to figure out how she died and why she died. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, of course, with Geiger. A lot of people are loving Geiger right now. Really good book there from Image. I should have put this in company order at least, because we're jumping all over the place. Image, back to Boom, back to Image. So we have Proctor Valley Road, issue #3. If you like alien stories, Area 51 style weirdness, that's the book for you. Very good read. Ice Cream Man, issue #24. What's there to say? Anthology about a creepy ass dude who happens to be an ice cream truck driver. Very, very good book. And last but not least, with our indies, I really, really enjoyed the first book, You Promised Me Darkness, issue #2. And we bought both covers there. Cover B and cover C. Nobody had cover A, so I'm happy with B and C. And that's it for the book for this week. Then we're going to move over to our variants. I was really mad because I missed out on the Miles Morales Spider-Man and Carnage variant of this particular book I'm about to show you. But it's King in Black, issue #2, Aspen's variant for it. So of course they got to use Michael Turner's iconic drawing of Spider-Man. So here's Michael Turner there with the Statue of Liberty in the background, but this is cover A. I really wanted cover B with Carnage in the back and Miles on the cover. Somebody got in line and snagged it right before me. Literally, I was waiting. I was like, all right, I see it on the wall, but he beat me. And then there's just a ASM 300 homage here for the 850th issue of Amazing Spider-Man. I was telling my LCS owner when I got to line, I was like, man, I really, really wanted, he snagged that right under my nose. He was like, go beat him up. He's like, you can take them. He's like, it's fine. I'll let you. I was like, but if you lose, like, obviously, you gotta let him keep the book. But I was like, man, I was like, I can't believe I missed out on that book. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll cut you half price for all these variants. So I only paid like $5 to $10 per these books instead of like 20. I think one of them was $40 and I only paid $10 for it. So that was really cool of him, just because I was like, ah. And the last one of those, Batman, Catwoman, the Lucio Barrio variant here. Thought this one was super pretty. Love it. Love Lucio Barrio. So pick that one up. 2 more books here for the variants of the week. Silk issue number 3. I told you this one was going to come back again. Definitely wanted to pick it up. Silk is trending. So this is a hot character right now as her Sony TV show gets moving along. We're going to find out casting really soon for the series and see what happens, when it's going to debut, all that goodness. And finally, to end it, Peach Momoko goodness, the cover of the week. Again, Marvel's probably story of the week with Fantastic Four 32, The Marriage of Doom. Look at this cover, guys. The Virgin Peach Momoko variant. Unbelievable. I also picked up the trade dress, 2 copies of those. Those were cover price. This one commanded a premium, but I had to have it. It's an amazing cover. I can't wait to get it slabbed at some point because it deserves to be encased. Amazing, amazing artwork by Peach Momoko. What can I say? I'm a Peach fan. But that's going to do it, guys. Those are the books for May 12th, NCBD New Comic Book Day. Man, like I said, indies are taking over. It seems like we're going to get to a point where I might not even be reading any Marvel outside of maybe a Spider-Man or a Daredevil, and then from DC, just keep it strictly to Gotham. You know, all the Batman family characters, so on and so forth, and nothing else. And then just enjoy all this new content, these brand new stories, different concepts that you've never heard of before. I think it's really, really cool. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Be sure to leave a comment down below about the books that you're reading this week, what you expect for the summer of 2021. Are there any hot storylines that you're looking forward to? August 14th for Free Comic Book Day. They always tend to put out something that's spec-worthy, as I'm losing my concentration here. Thank you so much. Be sure to like the video. Tune in to Twitch live every Wednesday for the live edition of the Comic Talk, twitch.tv/ThereCanBeOnlyVaughn. So mahalos from Hawaii, and remember to always bag and board 'em.